Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 314 based on novel. So let's start. Wang Lin's expression was still cold as he instantly closed the hundreds of feet gap and arrived next to the bubble. He coldly looked at the girl in pink and the beautiful middle-aged woman. The woman in pink's eyes were wary and the snowflake rune shined brightly. She was very nervous at this moment as she had no way of stopping Wang Lin from doing anything. The only thing she could rely on was the snowflake mark between her eyebrows. It was the life-saving treasure her senior sister had given her. Wang Lin looked at the girl and sent out a divine sense message. "Are you the brilliant void saintess?" His divine sense seemed to fuse with the magma, and a ripple echoed, causing the bubble around the girl in pink to tremble violently as if it could break at any moment. The girl in pink's face immediately turned pale. She bit her lower lip as she shook her head and said, "I'm not the brilliant void saintess, my senior sister is." Wang Lin pointed at the beautiful woman and asked, "What is your relationship with her?" "She is my elder in the brilliant void realm." The girl in pink didn't dare to not answer. If Wang Lin broke this bubble, the middle-aged woman would immediately fall into the magma. The middle-aged woman was already seriously affected by fire poison, and falling into the magma would only make it worse or cause her soul to be destroyed. "Although Master Void has harmed you, we didn't offend you." Before the girl in pink could finish speaking, her pupils shrank and she quickly retreated a few steps. The snowflake between her eyebrows began flashing. She saw that Wang Lin had already stepped through the bubble while she spoke and stood opposite of her. "Put away your treasure." Wang Lin entered the bubble and squatted down next to the beautiful middle-aged woman who was in a coma. His eyes revealed a strange light. As for girl in pink, Wang Lin didn't consider her a threat at all. Even though she had the snowflake treasure, she still wasn't a threat in Wang Lin's eyes. "What are you doing?" The girl in pink's heart pounded rapidly. When she saw Wang Lin's finger land between the beautiful middle-aged woman's eyebrows, she was going to shout at him to stop. However, just as she was about to attack, Wang Lin didn't turn around but casually pointed with his finger. Noisy. The stop spell was suddenly used and the girl in pink suddenly stopped. Although her body was stopped, the snowflakes around her split into countless more and surrounded her body, forming a tight defense. Wang Lin no longer paid any attention to the girl in pink but placed his right index finger between the eyebrows of the middle-aged woman. Taking the chance while her origin soul was weak and unconscious, his divine sense swept through her mind. The memories of the beautiful middle-aged woman appeared in Wang Lin's mind. Although her cultivation level was higher than Wang Lin's, his divine sense swept through her memories. Whether she lived or died wasn't important, Wang Lin just wanted her memories. All memories related to the brilliant void realm were important information for Wang Lin. The real reason he needed this information was due to the figure that caused him so much pain that he saw when his mind spread out across the brilliant void realm when he reached peak of the Nirvana Scryer stage. As his divine sense spread across each of her memories, Wang Lin gradually gained an understanding of the brilliant void realm, and his expression became serious. However, none of this was information he wanted to know. As he searched her memories, the beautiful middle-aged woman's body trembled and her eyelashes shook lightly. Her beautiful and mature face was flushed red and could cause anyone's heart to skip a beat. As Wang Lin searched her soul, it was obvious that it made it so she wasn't able to suppress the fire poison, and it showed signs of erupting. The girl in pink became anxious and looked at Wang Lin with hatred in her eyes. However, she wasn't strong enough to put up any resistance against Wang Lin's stop spell. As Wang Lin swept through the middle-aged woman's memories, he was suddenly startled as he found what he was looking for. There was an arrogant figure in her memories. This figure was the person Wang Lin saw when his mind swept through the brilliant void realm. Brilliant void saintess Mu Bing Mai. Wang Lin had a complex expression as he lifted his right index finger up. This middle-aged woman respected the brilliant void saintess a lot but didn't know much. She only knew that the saintess cultivated a very strange cultivation method. Once it's complete, the saintess would become the strongest person in the brilliant void realm. Unfortunately, it seemed this method was extremely difficult to complete. Aside from the first-generation saintess, no one else had succeeded in it. However, it seemed this 7th-generation saintess, Mu Bingmai, had achieved some success. Liu Mai. Mu Bingmai, Wang Lin felt pain come from his mind. He could even feel Wang Ping, who was inside the heaven-defying bead, show signs of awakening due to the fluctuations in his mind. Thinking about Wang Ping, Wang Lin felt like his heart was cut by a knife. Wang Ping always had a wish, but he only mentioned it once in his life. After not receiving an answer, he never mentioned it again in his life. He very much wanted to see his mother once. Wang Lin stood up while silently pondering and looked at the girl in pink. From the middle-aged woman's memories, Wang Lin knew that this girl was Liu Mai's junior sister and that she cultivated the same method. Her relationship with the middle-aged woman wasn't simple. The middle-aged woman had watched the girl in pink grow up before she became Liu Mai's junior sister. Wang Lin's eyes became cold and calmly said, "If I don't save her, she will without a doubt die within 15 minutes. The beautiful woman's body was a rosy red. This red was a demonic kind of red. Lots of sweat was coming out from her body, but in the blink of an eye, it turned into white gas. If this continued, it wouldn't take long for the middle-aged woman to become a mummy, and her origin soul would be destroyed. Even if Wang Lin didn't search her memories, she wouldn't have lasted long. Maybe a bit longer, but the result would have been the same. We can make a deal. I'll save you, take you two into the palace and into the 8th floor. In return, you will let me search your memories." Wang Lin spoke calmly and gave the girl a choice. If she agreed, it would be fine, but if she didn't, Wang Lin would attack. The girl in pink let out a bitter smile. She could see the determination in Wang Lin's words. She was smart, so she naturally knew that Wang Lin wanted to search her memories to look for something. After observing him, she knew that he was certainly searching for something related to her senior sister. Even if she didn't agree, it would be pointless. She nodded and gave up resisting. Wang Lin no longer spoke but waved his sleeves. He took the two women and stepped directly outside the bubble. He then charged straight ahead. Soon, he closed in on the palace and entered. After he entered, Wang Lin's right hand formed a seal and pointed, causing all the magma to surge out of the palace. Once no lava was left inside the palace, the gate suddenly closed shut. Although there was no more magma inside, this place still gave off intense heat. Wang Lin waved his sleeves and the two women landed on the side. His right hand reached out and the beautiful woman's body flew toward him. Wang Lin's right hand hit multiple spots on the beautiful woman, not caring that she was female at all. Every time he hit a part of her body, her face would become a bit more red. After 7 minutes, her body was almost completely red. Wang Lin placed his right hand on her forehead and a suction force came from his hand. All of the fire poison in her body rushed into Wang Lin's hand. The beautiful woman's body gradually returned to normal. However, she was extremely weak and fell to the side. "Now it's your turn." Wang Lin looked at the girl in pink. The girl in pink bit her lower lip and, after pondering a bit, she sat down. She pointed between her eyebrows with her right hand and the snowflakes around her body slowly disappeared. She closed her eyes and remained motionless. Wang Lin didn't have any other thoughts, it was only an exchange for him. His right hand pointed between to her eyebrows and his divine sense spread out and searched her memories. The girl in pink's body trembled, but she clenched her teeth. Although searching memories was harmful, Wang Lin wasn't too tyrannical. As long as she didn't resist, he wouldn't break through by force. So in the end it would all depend on whether she completely gave up resisting or not. As Wang Lin searched, he gradually understood more about Mu Bingmai. After a long time, he withdrew his right hand, and his expression became even more complex. Heavenly Soul Tao. To pretend the Heavens Tao has a soul and to cultivate this Tao with countless avatars. After many experiences, one will cultivate many different cultivation methods and retain their original heart while obtaining countless domains. In the end, all of the avatars unite to complete the Heavenly Soul Tao. This Heavenly Soul Tao was the peak cultivation method of the brilliant Void Realm, and only the first-generation Saintess had succeeded in cultivating it. All future generations failed because they lost sight of their original hearts and died. This Mu Bingmai was the 7th generation saintess. She had unexpectedly found a shortcut by using her ruthless domain. After an avatar was formed from cultivating the heavenly soul Tao, she didn't allow it to retain her memories. Instead, she'd send the avatar to survive on its own. This allowed the avatar to create a new consciousness that didn't know of the existence of the original body. Only after the avatar's cultivation level reached a certain point could the memory inheritance be activated, and the avatar would then fuse back with the original body. The Heavens Tao was ruthless, so her avatar needed to be ruthless too. Also, she didn't have countless avatars like previous generation saintesses, she only had 9. She had calculated very far into the future when she selected the planets to place them on. After countless years, the first 8 avatar had all awakened while retaining their virgin bodies. However, the 9th avatar on planet Suzaku had an accident. As for what the accident was, the girl in pink didn't know. She just knew that the 9th avatar was named Liu Mai and that it had caused her senior sister to enter a struggle. The girl in pink's face turned deathly pale and sweat covered her forehead. Her body became very weak, but the damage of the memory search wasn't very heavy, so she only needed to rest for a bit to recover. Wang Lin let out a sigh. He had already obtained the answer he wanted about the brilliant Void Saintess. Although it wasn't complete, with Wang Lin's intelligence, he was able to see the problems. After pondering for a bit, Wang Lin's gaze swept the palace and he found where to activate it. After opening this array, the 2 of you can enter the 8th floor. You'll be on your own. Wang Lin activated the transfer array and disappeared. Although he didn't kill the beautiful middle-aged woman while searching her memories, he had destroyed all of his secrets that she saw. He had also left behind restrictions in her mind. If she continued to bother him, he could cause her mind to collapse. The moment Wang Lin entered the 8th floor of the Celestial Emperor Cave, he heard rumbling sounds from the distance and felt powerful origin energy fluctuations. The 8th floor was completely dark and enveloped in a black mist that prevented Wang Lin's divine sense from spreading out far. However, the noise became more rapid and he could vaguely hear angry roars. This voice seemed to belong to Ling Qianhu. Wang Lin's eyes became serious. After listening for a long time, Wang Lin retreated, but just as he retreated, the black mist before him churned and Ling Qianhu charged out. At this moment, Ling Qianhu was in an extremely sorry state and his face was filled with horror. There was a black handprint on his chest. The handprint had broken through his clothes and imprinted on his chest. As he ran, black mist moved toward that handprint. A shadow was chasing behind him through the black mist, and it had taken the form of a giant devil by using the black mist. It was chasing the escaping Ling Qianhu and was about to devour him. The fear in Ling Qianhu's eyes was even stronger, but he clenched his teeth and turned around. He opened his mouth and spat out origin energy before reaching out at the void with his hand. A spatial rift appeared and Ling Qianhu's red Qilin charged out at the roaring devil. The Qilin's body was also covered in wounds, and a large amount of blood was flowing out of them. Ling Qianhu's eyes revealed his heartache, but right now wasn't the time for him to think about it, and he shouted, "Blood sacrifice." As he spoke, he hit the spot between his eyebrows and the remaining 2 origin swords behind him flew out. They didn't fly toward the devil, but toward the Qilin. The Qilin let out a miserable cry, but it didn't resist, it allowed the 2 origin swords to stab into it. Large amounts of blood sprayed out and immediately covered the surrounding 1,000 feet area. "Beast soul, appear." As Ling Qianhu shouted, the Qilin's body suddenly exploded. As blood rained down, the Qilin's soul appeared from its collapsed body. The moment the Qilin's soul appeared, it let out a roar. This roar couldn't be heard by the physical body, only the origin soul. When that roar entered Wang Lin's ears, it was like rumbling thunder. As the Qilin soul let out a roar, it charged at the devil monster. It began biting the devil in an attempt to stop it from chasing. Ling Qianhu looked at all the Qilin blood with his bloodshot eyes. His heart was also bleeding. This Qilin had followed him for countless years and had become something too difficult for him to part with. However, at this moment, he had to personally kill it to use its blood as a sacrifice to speed up the growth of its soul. While he roared, Ling Qianhu's hand formed a seal and pointed forward. All the blood flew into the air and gathered toward where the Chilean was fighting the devil. There were traces of gold inside the blood that even caused more than half of the black mist to dissipate as it gathered toward the devil. Wang Lin, help me. This place is dangerous. It is not a place that a single person can last in. I'll explain to you later. The reason Ling Qianhu chose to escape to this location was because he had detected someone entering. Of the people that hadn't entered, the person who was most qualified to enter first was Wang Lin. Just after entering the 8th floor, Wang Lin immediately saw Ling Qianhu in such a sorry state, and he had even destroyed his own Chilean. Wang Lin had a bad feeling about what had happened to the people that had entered the 8th floor. At this moment, he had to ask someone about what happened. Wang Lin revealed a decisive gaze and stepped out from the dark mist. Not wasting any time talking with Ling Qianhu, he jumped up and was about to use a spell. Spells are useless against it. It will just devour them. Ling Qianhu immediately shouted, and at the same time, he slapped his bag of holding. A small, red sword appeared in his hand and he threw it straight ahead. Then Ling Qianhu's heart ached as he shouted, "Explode!" After he spoke, the small sword suddenly collapsed into a destructive force that entered the devil. The devil immediately let out sharp cries. To Wang Lin, this devil was clearly an ancient devil. However, this ancient devil was a bit strange, and although it was similar to a scattered devil, it was a little different. For some reason, there were stars in this ancient devil's left eye. There was a total of 8 stars, 7 of which were dim, and only one gave off monstrous devilish energy. At this moment, the ancient devil was filled with pain, and the stars in its left eye were rotating. The one shining star became even brighter as powerful devilish energy came from it, giving it an eerie feeling. While roaring, the ancient devil's body flickered and it unexpectedly escaped the Chilean. It charged directly at Ling Qianhu. Wang Lin's pupils shrank, and his right hand formed a fist and he threw a punch. The ancient god's shadow appeared, but thanks to the black mist, it wasn't clear. However, the moment he threw that punch, the ancient devil was startled and suddenly turned around. The ancient devil stared at Wang Lin and gave up on chasing Ling Qianhu, then it turned into a shadow and charged at Wang Lin. It was obvious that he had recognized Wang Lin's ancient god aura. Wang Lin's mind moved and a black and white yin and yang symbol appeared behind him. His right hand reached out, and as the black and white gas mixed, the treasure Wang Lin had fused with his domain appeared. The Karma Whip. With the Karma Whip in hand, Wang Lin's hand shook and popping sounds came out, then the skin on the whip peeled open, revealing strands of golden light. The moment the devil closed in, the Karma Whip closed in and landed on the devil. The ancient devil suddenly stopped, and a large amount of devilish energy sprayed out from where the whip passed. He let out a painful scream and his eyes were bloodshot. He was about to charge again. However, the Karma Whip in Wang Lin's hand moved once more, and with a snap, it landed on the ancient devil, causing him to tremble. Wang Lin didn't stop and continued to land blows on the ancient devil. The ancient devil seemed to have become fearful of the whip and continued to retreat. However, just after it retreated hundreds of feet, the ancient devil rapidly shrank until it unexpectedly became a large handprint and whistled toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin, be careful. That devilish handprint can penetrate all forms of protection. Ling Qianhu was startled by the handprint. The injury on his chest was caused by that handprint. When Wang Lin saw the devilish handprint, his eyes shined brightly. This giant handprint gave him a very familiar feeling. As it closed in, Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he raised his right hand. The feeling of that shocking handprint he saw in the Rain Celestial Realm appeared in his mind. I know this handprint too. Back then, Wang Lin's cultivation level wasn't high enough, but now he was at the peak of the Nirvana Scrya stage and had the body of an ancient god. The thought of that handprint from the Rain Celestial Realm immediately filled his mind and replaced everything. It seemed to become an eternal existence, and it turned into a will that entered his right hand and shot forward. This palm caused the world to change colors, and thunderous rumbles echoed. All of the black mist was pushed back like crazy as if there was a powerful wind pushing it. The will contained inside this handprint contained an imposing aura that said, "Everything in the world belongs to me." This palm immediately turned into a giant handprint that covered the heavens and earth. It contained an indescribable pressure as it pushed forward. In an instant, it collided with the ancient devil's shadow. There was a heaven-shaking rumble that caused the entire earth to tremble. The devilish handprint collapsed with a bang and turned back into the ancient devil. His eyes were filled with horror as he let out a scream and was about to flee. However, Wang Lin's palm didn't dissipate but swept forward in a crazy manner. All of the black mist in the 8th floor began to be pushed back. Unexpectedly, this handprint had opened a large path through the black mist. The ancient devil wasn't able to escape, and the handprint caught up. It let out a mournful cry, and just as its body shattered, its left eye flashed. His left eye escaped and flew straight ahead. The handprint didn't stop and continued to move forward. All of the pavilions in the way collapsed. As the handprint moved forward, it finally collided with the edge of the palace at the center. There was a loud thud and more than half of the palace was destroyed, exposing the 99 candlesticks inside. The moment the handprint collided, one of the 2 candles that remained burning shook violently, and in the end the flame went out. The only remaining candle showed signs of extinguishing but was still struggling to stay burning. Ling Qianhu stared dumbfoundedly at all of this, and he sucked a breath of cold air. His eyes were filled with disbelief as he stared at Wang Lin. Right now a terrifying storm appeared in his heart. "Let's go." Wang Lin's words were concise, and he followed the road the handprint had opened. He was not as calm as he looked at this moment. He had a feeling that he was only able to display a very small portion of the true power of that handprint. If he could use it at full power, all 9 floors of this Celestial Emperor cave could be smashed with one handprint. Ling Qianhu quickly followed behind Wang Lin, and his dread toward Wang Lin increased as he understood Wang Lin less and less. Although he knew that his cultivation level was higher, if they were really to fight, he had a feeling that he would without a doubt lose. Wang Lin moved forward like lightning and soon arrived next to the half-destroyed palace. He coldly looked at Ling Qianhu as he took out a large amount of pills and threw them into his mouth. Then he slapped his bag of holding and a ray of silver light flew it. The silver female corpse appeared around Wang Lin and coldly looked at Ling Qianhu. Ling Qianhu's pupils shrank. He felt like Wang Lin had become even more mysterious and powerful. "I can't figure this person out all. Whether it's his cultivation, spells, or anything else, I can only use the 2 words, profound mystery, to describe him." In Ling Qianhu's life, he had only described the All-Seer as a profound mystery, and now there was one more. He didn't use the green pill Wang Wei had given him but instead devoured a lot of other pills to make up for the terrifying amount of origin energy that handprint had used up. The amount of origin energy he had used wasn't any less than what he used with the iron sword. However, Wang Lin just had left the magma. Aside from the fire origin energy inside his body, there were still large amounts of origin energy he hadn't absorbed yet. Also, during his months of cultivating, the vermilion bird tattoo had absorbed a lot as well. During those months of cultivation, Wang Lin noticed that the fire origin energy absorbed by his vermilion bird tattoo could be transferred to his body. It was this discovery that made Wang Lin remain so long inside the magma. After devouring the pills, Wang Lin didn't use the fire origin energy inside the vermilion bird tattoo and instead absorbed some of the unabsorbed fire origin energy in his body. Adding on the pills he had just devoured, Wang Lin recovered a bit. He soon arrived at the half-destroyed palace with the candlesticks, and only one remained struggled to remain burning. There was no one here. Wang Lin's gaze swept the area and then he calmly said, "What exactly happened here?" Ling Qianhu arrived inside after Wang Lin with lingering fear in his eyes and said, "When we entered from the 7th floor, there was no black fog here. However, after entering this hall and opening the entrance to the 9th floor, 3 devil shadows shot out and filled this area with black fog. Those 3 devil shadows were very strange, and Master Void was immediately seriously injured by one. Wang Wei suffered injuries from Bei Lu's sneak attack. Then the All-Seer attacked, and he helped Bei Lu. As for Hu Huan, before she could do anything, she was immediately sucked into the 9th floor. I was also injured by a devil shadow. I couldn't clearly see my surroundings with this black fog as divine sense can't pierce it." Ling Qianhu simply explained what happened, and as Wang Lin listened, his expression gradually turned into a frown. Wang Lin wasn't surprised about the All-Seer helping Bei Lu. The All-Seer had been to the demon spirit land many times, and Wang Lin wouldn't believe that he had never come into contact with the ancient demons. Besides, back when Wang Lin was still in the Heavenly Fate sect, he remembered that the senior brother of the Purple Division had used a spell similar to a demonic spell. He remembered that profoundly. Later, as he encountered more events, the more he thought about it, the more it confirmed his speculation. Wang Lin had also obtained the body of the Scattered Devil. The body was obviously the same as Ling Qianhu, only a lot younger. Wang Lin still had that body inside his bag. He believed that if he took that body out, Ling Qianhu's expression would change greatly. Even the All-Seer's expression would probably change. Ancient Devil, Ancient Demon, All-Seer, and Ling Qianhu. There must be some strange relationship between them. Wang Lin quietly looked at the remnants of the palace, especially at the last remaining burning candle. How do we activate this place? Wang Lin had to go to the 9th floor. Whether it was for Ju Yi or Situ Nan, he had to enter. Although Situ Nan hadn't come this far, Wang Lin firmly believed that with Situ Nan's cultivation level, he would be fine in the first few floors. However, Ju Yi was at the 9th floor, and the hope of curing Situ Nan's poison was also on the 9th floor. Both were his benefactors, so how could Wang Lin give up? Although he knew that there were dangers on the 9th floor, if he gave up due to danger, then he wouldn't be Wang Lin. Ling Qianhu hesitated and asked, "You really want to go down?" Wang Lin nodded. Ling Qianhu pondered a bit, then a trace of madness in his eyes, and he muttered, "Forget it. You've cultivated for less time than me but still have the guts to go. This old man's beloved beast was destroyed due to that damn thing. I've cultivated the tyrannical domain all my life, and I'm unwilling to leave just like this. The All-Seer dared to enter, so why should I be afraid?" He stepped forward and headed toward the candlesticks. He then quickly moved the candlesticks based on his memory of what Hu Huan did. The 99 candlesticks began to slowly move and loud rumbles could be heard. As they moved, they took the shape of a large formation. Bursts of ghostly light came from the candlestick and then shined brightly. At the center of the 99 candlesticks, a circle of light appeared, and dense, black fog came from inside it. Ling Qianhu clenched his teeth and charged into the circle of light first. Wang Lin didn't hesitate. He took a deep breath and put away the silver female corpse before stepping into the light circle. Just as Wang Lin and Ling Qianhu entered the 9th floor, inside the palace at the center of the 9th floor, which was the same as the one on the 8th, a figure covered in dark fog raised his head and revealed a sign of struggle. There was only one light remaining between his eyebrows as the endless black gas attacked in an attempt to devour the last speck of light. Constant rumbles came from outside the palace along with angry roars. It was obvious that an intense battle was occurring outside. Outside the palace, almost everyone was present, but they were all injured. They were circling the palace, and countless devil shadows were rushing out and attacking the surrounding cultivators. No matter how much they attacked, these devil shadows didn't dissipate. If they were forced into a desperate situation, the devil shadows would collapse to form a terrifying destructive force. This caused all the surrounding people to be entangled in this battle. Master Void's face was pale and he sat down not far away. He coughed out a mouthful of black blood and pointed at spots across his body to suppress his injuries. Beside him, the man in black was also extremely pale, and he sat there cultivating, but his eyes were locked straight ahead. The All-Seer waved his large sleeves, and every time he did so, he would launch many powerful attacks, breaking everything coming at him. As for Wang Wei, he had a gloomy expression as the monstrous water curtains around him attacked like crazy. There were two reasons why he was attacking like crazy. One was his master, Qing Lin, and the second was Hu Huan, who was immediately sucked into the 9th floor. This caused him to become distracted, allowing Bei Lu the chance to launch a sneak attack. Along with the All-Seer's help, they were able to injure Wang Wei, but Wang Wei had too many pills. He simply took some and ignored Bei Lu and the All-Seer as he rushed into the 9th floor to look for Hu Huan. Bei Lu was on the other side. Demonic energy filled his body, forming a powerful demonic flame around him. An ancient demon shadow appeared behind him, but this shadow was almost corporeal, and it gave off a powerful demonic aura. Whenever he raised his right hand, countless spells would fly out, attacking the devil shadows, and he shouted, "Tajio, I know your devil shadow spell consumes the most devilish energy. I want to see how much more you can waste." What answered Bei Lu was a cold, hoarse voice that caused everyone's hearts to feel a chill. This voice was ethereal and contained a devilish pressure. "Bei Lu, when I finish my possession, you will know how much devilish energy I have now." After hearing this, Wang Wei's eyes turned red. Then both of his hands moved and a blue light appeared before him. In the blink of an eye, it turned into a surging sea that filled the entire sky like a real ocean. Wang Wei roared, and then this monstrous ocean came crashing down from the sky at the dark fog outside the palace. The old man on the god also attacked as he turned into countless spells and charged into the black fog to begin a slaughter with the devil shadows. Zhu Yi was also here, but he was even weaker than before. He had an anxious gaze as he looked at the black mist before him. However, the devilish energy in him was too strong. As a spirit body, he was finding it difficult to resist the devilish energy. It was at this moment that Wang Lin and Ling Qianhu arrived. This 9th floor was not big. Aside from the palace, there was nothing else. The moment they arrived, they saw the unprecedented fierce battle before them. Ancient demon Bei Lu's shadow and Wang Wei's monstrous waves were the most noticeable. At this moment, the All-Seer's eyes revealed a strange light as he pointed at the sky and said, "Heavenly Fate Finger." After he spoke, a majestic vortex appeared in the sea formed by Wang Wei's spell, then a powerful pressure descended from the above. A giant finger came out of the water and mercilessly pressed down on the palace covered in black fog. This video will end here.